community. It's just another voice. You know, when you think about what you want to produce, you sit and think about it and think, okay, what will I enjoy first of all? Because if you don't enjoy what you're doing, it's not going to be real good. Number two, what can benefit the community? And it's so neat to have a chance to be able to do that. And I'm thanking you for that, because I've had a great time at PATV, and you know, every time I turn on the channel, there's always something different. It's like any channel, you know, there might be something good, might be something bad, but there's always something you can pull from it that's really neat, that's boiled down to the community of Iowa City and around. So it just gives this, it totally has its niche, PATV. It has its niche, and it really fills in great. And I just want to thank you for the opportunity to be able to produce. So thank you.
Hello, my name is Julie Spencer, and I've been a producer at PATV for quite a number of years, and I currently have a program that covers news events and organizations, local things around Iowa City. I think PATV is great. As you can see from everybody talking, they do a lot of things. People can, diverse people produce there. I mean, everybody that has talked has a story to tell about how PATV has helped them. And the main thing I think is very important to retain PATV is because we need a voice locally. With the media, everything's saturated. If we don't have PATV, we don't have, here in Iowa City and locally, people do not have a voice. And we don't know what's going on. That's why it's very important to keep PATV. And as I say to people, I like some programming, some I'm not real fond of at PATV. Some people question things like that, but I think the thing is, the bottom line, it's important to keep that open so we have our local voice, because I think with everything we do, that's what is most important with this. Thank you.
I'm Holly Berkowitz. I'm a producer. I've been a producer at PATV since 1996. I'm on the board of directors, and PATV has helped me develop my skills in photography. I just discovered a couple of years ago that I really should have been a photographer for all these years. And so I brought you a card with a sort of summary of what I do at PATV. You just put those pictures to motion. My portfolio is here. You can see it. I also do black and white. But I guess I've learned that PATV is very, very important to myself. It's helped me develop as a person, as a human, and it's important for the community in many ways. One is to help the community communicate with each other, as everybody, with all the diverse voices, especially in an election year. You know, every 4 years, the presidential candidates from all over the country come over to Iowa City because they know that Iowa City has a voice, and PATV is a big part of that voice. There's another part that I learned at a conference, is that the newspapers are having a very difficult time now, and broadcast stations are also having a difficult time, and they're having a difficult time filling in the local voices, projecting the local voices of local communities, and this is where PATV plays a huge role. Is that a couple of stations out in California have actually approached the newspapers and got a section on their website, and the local producers for PATV provide content for that website, in video, of course, and it helps to bring the news local news that local people want, that the big corporations don't have time to produce. And in fact, the newspapers don't even edit it. And the third way that the PATV can help the community is in emergency situations. A lot of times the corporate media, it covers the visual aspects of the situation very well. And people tune into that, and they provide some instructions on what to do. But PATV can play a role before the event, long time, on an ongoing basis, on having like an emergency a program on emergency procedures for risks that are high risks for that community, such as flooding here in Iowa City. And what to do, what you can do beforehand, what to do during, and what to do after. And that can continue afterwards to help people recover from the event. I have some photos that I got during the flood, and I can share those with you, and I have a website. I'm developing a website too. So thank you, ICTC, thank you Iowa City, City of Iowa City, and thank you MediaCom, and thank you PATV for all your support and help and best wishes in the future.
Tom Loftnagel, I'm a producer at PATV and have been since the beginning of PATV in this incarnation. Actually, I began with Heritage Cablevision a couple of years before PATV was founded, 20 years ago. So I wanted to do a program because I saw the beginning of MTV, which held great promise, and I didn't really like what I saw after it got underway. So I have this, I think it's important that people understand music. Music is important to people. So I do Tom's Guitar Show and have for 15 years now. I've made over 700 episodes. So for me, it helps to get the point across. I have access to the cable a couple hours a week to get my point across. But also with my program, I'm able to bring in volunteers and interns, people from the community, young people, other people who get experience by working on my show, which happens every week. We make the show every week, every Tuesday. So people come and go, and if I could count up, I have no idea how many people I've had work on my show, but quite a large number by now. I have a couple of high school kids from City High who work on my show, and a couple of people from the Senior Citizen SCTV network who work on my show. So I've been very thankful for it. I find it's been a wonderful place to take some of my music students and give them performing opportunities, as opposed to a recital or something. They get to play music on TV for 5 minutes or so. They get a nice DVD. So for me personally, and for the people that I care about around me, it's been a very beneficial thing, and I hope that we continue it for well into the future. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Wendy, and I'd like to follow up with what Tom just said. I'm one of those students who's had some opportunity to perform on his show, and it's just a nice opportunity. It's a community thing. It's, you know, not for profit. We're just there to practice our music, and it's been a great opportunity both for myself and my son, who's been on the show a couple of times. Thank you.
AC Earl. My background is I'm new to PATV. There's a lot of veterans here who I've looked up to over the years and borrowed pages from, so it's good to see everybody here. I've been producing the show. You could call me producer, but there's no way I am a producer, but I've been on the show for about 2 years now. It's very ironic. It's very weird. I can travel around Iowa City all week long, and there's not one time where I don't go where somebody says, "Hey, I see you on TV," and to me it blows me away. You know, we all know we're in a cable age, and there's people have dishes, and people have you know, all the MediaCom channels, and tons of people watch this show. It's unbelievable. I often catch myself on Saturday going through the channels,